Hello, today we'll be talking about what is discerning online content and hopefully be able to help you figure it out.
Firstly, let's start off this video with a very informative and wonderful podcast about how to discern online content. So, what is discerning online content? Well, discerning content means having a good judgment on the content you see. Without being able to discern properly, you'll be at risk of believing something that is false, leading to an incorrect judgment of something. Now, why is fake news created? It is created for two reasons: disinformation and misinformation. Disinformation is when news is intentionally spread by people with malicious intentions, and is often done for political gains. While misinformation is the spreading of fake news unknowingly without any bad intentions.
I see. That's interesting. Well, one example of this is actually a French scientist that used a slice of sausage that tricked readers into believing it was an actual planet. Imagine how dangerous that could be if people actually believed. This is an example of fake news. So then, what makes us susceptible to fake news? Well, this is due to two things: human confirmation bias and filter bubbles. So, human confirmation bias is when people only pick some parts of the story to support their own stand. And this totally ignores the other side of the story, which could be the actual truth, and you are believing something that is false.
A filter bubble is a smart isolation system that occurs when websites use algorithms to specifically show information the user wants to agree with. Algorithms are computer codes which collect information about our browsing history, search history, location, and click habits. It will then use these knowledge to show us enticing websites catered to only our view. Thus, these are different algorithms create filter bubbles. Initially done to improve search results, now algorithms may only show one side of the story. Filter bubbles causes people to be unaware of others' perspective. They also will cause confirmation bias, as only people who support your stand will be shown to you. This will have a negative impact on our thinking, as this encourages narrow-mindedness and the rejecting of any other perspectives. An example of this was in 2020 during the pandemic. Many people believed that social media was poisoning online politics. This caused them to spread a lot of misinformation, which led to a lot of wrong information.
So then, how do we avoid filter bubbles? Well, we can use this acronym called SUS. That's right, SUS. So, S standing for sourcing different sites which aim to provide a wide range of perspectives, broaden your view. And the second letter U stands for using virtual private networks or incognito browsing. And finally, the last S is to switch between platforms to gather a variety of views. So, you guys might be wondering, well, is there any real world examples? Well, there actually is. This real world example is involving Eileen Gu during the Beijing Olympics. Well, about Eileen Gu, she's a player that played for the Winter Ski Olympics. She's born and raised in America, but has ancestral roots to China. And in the Olympics, she chose to play for China instead of America, and this created a lot of controversy between the two countries based on their different opinions and points of view.
On the American side, they feel like she has betrayed the land that has raised her, from education to her food, and playing for China is very disrespectful. While on the Chinese side, People respect her for playing for her homeland as her ancestors came from China.
In conclusion, discerning online content is an important skill that allows one to not be caught up in misinformation. It lets us be more aware of the content we read and gives us a chance to not be the ones affected by them.
Now, I hope that you have enjoyed that podcast. Moving on, now we have a poster, which is more of a brief explanation on the main things to focus on for discerning online content. Firstly, what are filter bubbles? Again, a filter bubble is a term used to say things you are shown on the internet that is accustomed to your previous information. Algorithms are closely related to filter bubbles, as these algorithms actually cause the filter bubbles that you are in. Algorithms are basically a set of personal data which is collected as you use the internet. For example, a Google user database. Secondly, why does it matter? Well, filter bubbles hide the other point of view for the information that you are looking at. You could be clueless about the filter bubbles too, and you do not even know that you could be looking at some false news. This is harmful as it can cause misunderstandings and or limits perspectives. Thirdly, how do we believe one-sided news easily? This is due to confirmation bias. This is when people believe in certain ideas to be true. They justify if they handpick certain data to confirm their beliefs, leaving the other perspectives untouched. Lastly, how can we escape the filter bubble? Well, you need to find the other sides of the story, and this can be done through websites online such as www.allslides.com. Secondly, you could use search engines such as DuckDuckGo, which does not collect personal data and not creating a filter bubble.
After learning about discerning online content and filter bubbles, why don't we test your knowledge with an escape room activity? You can use the link or scan the QR code to play the escape room and see if you can escape in 8 minutes. We recommend you use your PLD for a better playing experience. Please proceed to complete the survey after the activity. Thank you!
We would like you to fill out this simple survey by scanning the QR code and give us your genuine feedback, which will help us a lot.
Well, we have come to the end of this online program. Hopefully, all of you have been able to understand what we have been talking about and apply it in your life. Thank you and goodbye.